1 million eggs at a time. They can't actually fertilize all those eggs, but it can breed up to 1 million eggs at a time. This goes on later with the Magikarp salesman that is a recurring gag in the anime series, who originally tells James that a Magikarp can lay 1,000 eggs. Let's see here. When a carp eggs become fertilized, they actually form a sticky adhesive around themselves so they don't get pushed around in the water. When adult carp want to move their eggs around, they actually splash around furiously to get the eggs to move. Hence why you can see carp in the, actual carp in the wild splashing around constantly. However, Magikarp breed more closely to salmon than carp, because salmon return back to their place of birth to give birth, which could mean having to swim up streams, rivers, and sometimes actually swimming up waterfalls, while carp are only freshwater. Salmon are both freshwater and saltwater, much like a Magikarp.
So as we just heard, Magikarp is both a freshwater and saltwater fish Pokemon. As anybody that's played, especially the first few video games of Pokemon, Magikarp can be found in any body of water. Later games are getting a little bit, I guess I could say better about this, where you can't find Magikarp everywhere, but in the beginning, you all remember, they were everywhere. Magikarp are weak swimmers and are often swept into lakes and oceans. However, they have a high resilience, which means they can live in highly polluted waters. Magikarp are very social Pokemon. They live in groups of 20s in small lakes and can be found in schools of hundreds in the ocean. Also, when a Magikarp will evolve, usually it's like a group evolution, which we'll see later, and usually 1 or 2 Gyarados will stay back with the school of Magikarp and protect them until they can evolve. Magikarp are omnivores. They eat both plants and meat. They eat seaweed and things they find while they're bottom feeding, which they find with their maxillary barbels. They can also eat insects, which in the Pokemon world means insect-type Pokemon. And I believe the smallest insect-type Pokemon that I could find was, I know there's some, wait, let me think. I don't want to say this and get it wrong.
There's a couple small ones. The point being is that it would have to be a bug that is close to oceans or lakes or rivers.
Yeah, flying over.
That a Magikarp would actually be able to splash out of the water to catch. There's very few actually smaller than Magikarp, but they try.
But Magikarp can get really big. So I think the 2 closest to Magikarp size are Beedrill and Butterfree, and they are a little bit bigger than Magikarp, but if you have a larger Magikarp... question? Surskit is a good choice. The things that we found say that Magikarp usually jump out of the water to catch flying bugs, but Surskit would be an easier catch. So in theory, yes, thank you. And Magikarp also eats poke food, as you can see here. So Magikarp's natural predators are Pidgeotto and Pidgeot. They are snatched out of the water when trying to catch bugs. The Pokedex for Silver reads, for no reason, it jumps and splashes about, making it easy for predators like Pidgeotto to catch it mid-jump.
Check your Pokedex, because Magikarp is just scales and bone.
So obviously this contradicts what the games say, and you cannot compare the video game logic with the anime logic. However, even within the anime, there is some controversy about whether or not you can eat a Magikarp. In episode 27, so just a few episodes after this one, this is episode 16 we just watched. Episode 27, Hypno's nap time. Ash makes a remark and he says, "Looks like this Magikarp is ready for the deli counter." Oh, thank you for dimming the lights. That's so nice of you. So yeah, Ash says it looks like this Magikarp is ready for the deli counter. Now he is 10 or whatever, and it could just be a mistake, but it kind of implies that he's seen a Magikarp on a deli counter before. So, I don't know. Take what you will from that. And we're also going to have a look at this delicious Magikarp recipe.
Alright, next up is just basics about Magikarp. As in the Pokedex, Magikarp is number 129 in the Kanto region, which is Generation 1. Number 23 in Johto, or Generation 2. He's number 53 in Hoenn, Generation 3. Number 76 in the Sinnoh region, Generation 4. Magikarp is actually not found in Unova's region-specific Pokedex. The Pokedex used in Black and White. Instead, Magikarp is only in the game's national Pokedex as number 129, where you can... and number 49 in the Central Kalos Pokedex for Generation 6, that's Pokemon X and Y. Magikarp is generally found while surfing or fishing in almost any body of water, plus in the Cerulean Gym early on, and Harflem Palace in X and Y. If you actually go in the back and start fishing around there with an old rod, you can find Magikarp. In Red, Blue, and Yellow, Magikarp can be bought from a Magikarp salesman on Route 4 for 500 Pokédollars. Says it's the best buy you're going to have. In Pokemon Black and White, the Magikarp salesman reappears on Marvelous Bridge to sell you a Magikarp for 500 Pokédollars after you get the National Pokedex. This is the only place you can find it in Black and White. However, you can find it later on in the Dream World. And in Black and White 2, you can find Magikarp naturally in the Nature Preserve. Oh, we like lights now. You can only get the Nature Preserve after seeing all Pokemon of the new Unova Pokedex, where Magikarp can be fished for, and in some cases you can look in deeper water, to be found between levels 1 and 100. Pokemon X and Y, Magikarp is found by fishing with an old rod and surfing around routes 3 and 22, as well as in Harflem Palace. And as a special side note, as you leave the Ambrit Aquarium from Ambrit City, you can see a giant Magikarp statue in the background. Magikarp is, of course, a water type, which means it takes 2 times damage from electric and grass type attacks, takes half damage from fire, water, ice, and steel type attacks. Magikarp and Gyarados are fairly unique Pokemon because they are the only 2 Pokemon in the Water 2 and Dragon categories. Along with the other ones that are just Water 2 and Dragon, they're the only ones in both. Magikarp actually has the shortest egg hatching time at 6 cycles, or 1,530 steps. However, it is impossible to breed moves onto a Magikarp. Magikarp will forever, as of now, only come out with Splash.
So Magikarp has a very limited move pool, and as we just said, you cannot breed moves onto a Magikarp. So with some Pokemon, if one parent has an attack that you want to pass down to an offspring, there's ways to do it. But with Magikarp, there's absolutely no way to get it to learn anything other than it starts out with Splash, and sometimes it'll start out with Tackle also. So Splash is a normal type attack that does absolutely nothing. I know at one point, I'm pretty sure everyone in this room thought, maybe if I use it while I'm surfing, it'll do something. But it does absolutely nothing. Magikarp can learn Tackle at level 15. Like I said, sometimes I think they're born with it if you hatch them. can't remember though. So Tackle is also a normal type attack with a power of 35 and an accuracy of 95. And then later on, Magikarp can learn Flail. This is only in, I forget which games to be honest, I think it's Generation 2 and onward. So Flail is a normal type attack with an accuracy of 100. It's more powerful the less HP the user has. So for example, at 71% to 100% of the user's health, this attack has a power of 20. At 21% to 35% of its health, it has a power of 80. And at 1 HP to 4% of its health, Flail has an attack power of 200. So other attacks with the power of 200 are Self-Destruct, and Explosion has an attack power of 250. So other moves that are considered powerful but actually have an attack power of less than 200 are Solar Beam, which only has an attack power of 120. Later on, Magikarp can learn the move Bounce, which is a flying type move. Has a power of 85 and an accuracy of 85. It's a 2-turn attack, kind of like the attack Fly, and it can be learned from the move tutor in Generation 4, which is Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum, or Magikarp can be found with this attack in the Dream World in Black and White. There were some Magikarp distributed over the years that had different attacks. So these were Magikarp given away at Pokemon centers, which are in Japan, and I think there's one in New York.
Although now they're just Nintendo centers.
Oh yeah, no, in Nintendo buildings, they're not Pokemon centers. No, the ones in, a couple of them in Japan still are. Anyway, in June of 2002, the New York Pokemon Center distributed a Magikarp for Gold, Silver, and Crystal that knew the move Reversal. In 2003, the same Pokemon Center distributed a Magikarp again for Gold, Silver, and Crystal that knew Bubble. In June of 1998, as a prize for the Tamamushi University Hyper Test campaign, 20 Magikarp were distributed that knew Dragon Rage. They were also given out with a trading card of a Magikarp that also knew Dragon Rage, and these Magikarp were for the games Red, Blue, and Yellow. And then most recently, the Nagoya Pokemon Center gave away shiny level 99 Magikarp. This was from March 20th to May 6th of 2013. And this was in celebration of the Pokemon Center moving into a new building. These Magikarp knew Splash, Flail, Bounce, and Hydro Pump, and they were given in a cherished ball holding a rare candy, in case you wanted another Red Gyarados. Magikarp can have one of 2 abilities, the first being Swift Swim, which doubles Magikarp's speed when it's raining. In Heavy Rain, which is caused by drizzle in the later games, the ability drizzle, sorry, Swift Swim will not go into effect until the second turn that it's raining. Magikarp can also have the ability Self-Conscious. Is it Self-Conscious or Rattled? Because I had it wrong one time and then I switched it back. Does anybody know? It's what? It's Rattled? Okay, thank you. Okay, so you're gonna have the ability Rattled, which raises your speed by 1 stage every time every time the Pokemon is hit with a Bug, Ghost, or Dark type attack. So a Magikarp with Rattled hit by a Bug attack, let's say if they're hit 1 time with a Bug attack, their speed will go up by 1.5 times, so their speed will be multiplied by 1.5. And then if they're hit with another Bug type attack, it goes up another level, so their speed is at times 2, and then times 2.5, all the way up to 4 times.